Hi everyone, this is Sharon. This may or may not end up as a tutorial for how I extend a spine for one of my journals. I was working on this cover for a journal I'm making, and I recalled that quite a number of you had asked for a tutorial on how I construct a spine where I extend the original spine to make it wider. And I've already got a couple steps done, but as I was making this, I thought, oh my gosh, I should turn on the camera and do a tutorial on this because I know I don't make these very often. And so we'll see how this goes, and hopefully I remember to record all the steps. So what I've done so far, I have this beautiful old book cover from the 1800s. It's dated 1886. It was a college textbook, and it's got some beautiful embossing on it. And what I've done so far is to just cut this spine along this edge between the spine and the back cover. So I've got that removed, and I've also already attached a piece of fabric. So what I did was I cut this off and I left about a 1/4 inch on this side. And that allowed me to wrap it around and glue it down to the inside. So I've got a nice clean edge to that, and eventually that will be showing. And then for this piece, what I did was I took some bookbinding tape. I used my 2-inch wide black tape, and I've got this listed in my Amazon items. And I taped that across the front, half of it across the front cover and half of it across the spine. And that way it just reinforces that edge. If you look closely on this side, you can see there are some rips and tears along that edge. So that just really reinforced that spine so it doesn't pull apart from the front. And because the back of my tape was white, I took a little black magic marker and just kind of colored that in where there are rips and tears there. That won't show because eventually I will be putting a piece of lace over that. But I just wanted to make sure there weren't any light spots showing through. So I attached that bookbinding tape first. Then I took a piece of fabric. This is the fabric I'm using to extend my spine. And I measured it so that it would overlap or come across the inside cover a bit, and I could attach it there. And then I figured out how much I wanted to extend my original spine, and then I added some extra on that will be glued to the back cover as well. So I took my PVA glue and I adhered it to the spine and a little bit across this front cover, and then I attached this whole piece of fabric on there. And so that gives me a piece to extend my spine, but it also helps to reinforce the original spine as well because it's going all the way across there and onto the front cover. So that will stay all nice and tight and stick together nicely. So I've got that glued down and it's drying a bit now. And my next step will be to take this to my sewing machine, and I'm just going to run a machine stitch right down the edge of this. It probably isn't necessary, but I usually do that if my spine fabric is not too thick. It just gives a little bit more detail. It gives the illusion that, these are pieced and stitched together. And it also ensures that that edge will just stay down and attached to the fabric. So I will do that and then be back with my next step. Okay, I have my stitching added to the spine right along this edge. So my next step is going to be to reinforce this half of the spine that is just the fabric. So on this half, we've got the fabric spine that was original, we've got the book tape that I added, and then the thickness of the fabric. So to kind of even that out, this is pretty floppy on this side yet, I'm going to add some book tape and just attach it to the fabric on this side so that it's about the same weight all the way across. So to do that, I am going to take my bookbinding tape. This is a 3-inch wide variety, and I want it that wide because I want to take it all the way to the edge of that fabric and then just past where it attaches to the original spine. So I'm going to lay this out and kind of measure it I don't want to take it all the way to the top of my fabric. I'm just going to bring it in from the top a little bit, about the same length as my book cover. And then I'll just cut that off. It's very, very sticky tape. Okay, and then I'm going to kind of line it up with the edge of this fabric. And then I'm going to make sure my threads are tucked in on that side and on this side so they won't go anywhere. Okay, and that will stick down nicely to the fabric. I don't need to use glue or anything like that. And one thing I wanted to mention is for the height of my fabric, I took it just beyond the top of the spine on both ends, so it kind of sticks out a little bit, and I can fray that some to give it kind of a rougher edge. Okay, so we've got that step done, and now I'm feeling like my spine is pretty much the same thickness all the way through, and it feels just a little bit sturdier, not quite as floppy on this side. The next step I'm going to do is to prep the spine and get it ready to attach it to our back cover. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reinforce it a bit with just a piece of plain kind of medium weight cardstock. This I got in a paper pack, but it's not real thick. It's not as thick as chipboard, just kind of a regular piece of cardstock. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this entire spine with this piece, and I'll just give it a little bit more weight to glue it to the back cover. And what I'm going to do is just kind of measure this. I don't want to take it all the way to the edge of my fabric since that extends beyond the cover. What I want to do is make it exactly the same height as my cover. So I'm just going to kind of line it up on the bottom and then pencil mark it on the top so I can cut it to size. And then as far as the width goes, I don't want to bring it up and over the front cover. I don't want it in that crease because I think it'll be a little too bulky. We've already got the original spine coming around that crease. So I'm just going to take it maybe 1/8 or 1/16 from that front cover crease there so that it doesn't bind. It'll bend easily, but I'm just wanting to take it right up to that. And then as far as the width, see if I can get this on camera. I do want to take it all the way to the edge of the fabric on the back side. So I'm just going to mark that. And I will take this to my paper cutter and cut my piece. Okay, I have my piece of cardstock cut to size, so that should fit on there nicely. And I've got room for my crease here. And I'm going to glue this down to my spine with some PVA glue. But before I do that, I want to score this on this side to create that bend that we'll need when we attach this to the back cover. And I think it'll just be easier to score that before I glue it down rather than after. So I'm going to get my scoreboard. Now, of course, I'm not giving any measurements really because these are all custom and it will just depend on the size of your cover, what your measurements will be. Now, I know I want a 3-inch spine, and so that's where I am going to score my cardstock. I have a new scoreboard on order that's a little bit larger. This one I use for my spines a lot, and it's just a little bit too short. So I got a 12 by 12 one. Okay, so this is scored, and I'm just going to fold that over, and then eventually that crease will fold over like that to form the back part of the spine. So now I will cover this with PVA glue and adhere it to my cover. So I'm going to set that all aside. And I'm just going to get a glue piece here. Okay, I am using this PVA glue by Lineco. I'm just going to pour a little bit in a plastic container. Now, I usually, for my spine constructions, I use either PVA or Fabri-Tac glue. Depending on what I'm doing, I find that those two are pretty reliable for construction. And I like the PVA because it just seems, you get good coverage and it's flexible, so it just works well for moving parts. So I'm just going to put a nice generous coat on here. The PVA does, I mean, it's water-based, so it can curl paper and cardboard. So if I'm afraid of that in some instances, I might go to the Fabri-Tac glue. Okay. Bring my spine back, and now I'm just going to probably line up first with this edge. I want to make sure that it's the same height as my front cover, front and back. So I'm just going to kind of measure that here. That feels pretty good, so I'm going to just adhere this down now. I will let this sit and dry for a bit, and then we'll be back for the next step. Okay, I think our glue and cardboard are dry enough for us to move on to the next step. So this is the edge that I scored, and I'm just folding that over to get that crease in there because that's going to be our back side, and we're going to be gluing that strip to our back cover like this. And so what I'm going to be doing is just put some glue along this edge here, and I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac glue. I just like that the best for this step. I think because one, we're working with this fabric side, and I just feel like it's thicker and globular, and it just probably will hold a little bit better on this edge here. So let's lay this out flat. And I like to put the glue on this strip so I can kind of control where it goes as opposed to putting it onto the cover. So I'm just going to get my scrap paper underneath. And then we will start adding our Fabri-Tac. I put it on quite thick. Get it nice and close to the edge. And then I come up not quite to where I'm going to be bending it. I don't know if it'll help to hold this up so you can kind of see where that fold is. I don't want to take it quite to the edge because I don't want it to seep through, but I leave about 1/8 of an inch strip along there. Okay, now I'm just going to remove this paper, grab my back cover, and make sure I've got it the right way. And then I'm just going to place that on here. And I'm going to fold it to make sure I've got it placed kind of where I want it. I'm just going to leave maybe between 1/8 and 1/16 of an inch showing here. And we will just let that sit to dry, and I will come back after that's dry. Our glue has had a chance to dry, and I think we're all set to go. So you basically are at the point now where you would be if you bought a book with a spine that was the right width. And you could just continue on adding your pages to your cover. And I am not going to do that in this video. I have several other videos where I show that. So I will link down below a couple of other tutorials that I have out there where I show the construction of a full journal. So other than finishing off your inside covers and putting in your pages, the only other thing I thought I would do, and maybe we can do that together in this video, is to just finish off the spine. Like I had mentioned, I want to cover this Agriculture of Maine on there. And I was looking through my labels and I found this pretty label from the paper Cameo. And I thought I would put that on something like that and put it across the entire spine. And I think that just kind of brings both sides together and kind of meshes the look and makes it all look as one. So I am going to attach that with some PVA glue. So I'm going to set that aside and just coat the back side of this label. To me, the construction is the easy part because it's pretty much the same from journal to journal. But when it comes to doing this extra embellishing, that's where I kind of get stuck sometimes in deciding what to put on there or not put on. Okay, I want to make sure I don't get any glue underneath. Okay. PVA is a little forgiving in drying time, so if you have it where you don't want it, like I'm pretty sure I wanted it this way, you can switch things around a little bit. Make sure that's down nice and tight, and we will let that dry, and then I will come back and add my lace. The glue for my label is dry, and so for my last step, I thought I would add this piece of lace along the spine so that it covers part of the front of the cover and partly on the spine. I am going to use some art glitter glue to glue this piece on. Art glitter glue dries clear, and I've got this pinpoint tip, so it's just easier when you're working with lace to use the art glitter glue. So I'm going to dab this all over this piece. It might take me a while, so I will speed this step up. Okay, I've got my back side all glued up, and now I will place this. It is exactly the right height, so that worked out quite nicely. I think rather than getting my fingers all sticky, I'm going to take a plastic card and just kind of tap that down. And that is it for our process on extending the spine of this book cover for our journal. So we've got the inside, which is all set to go for us to finish off our inside covers and add our pages. Our front cover looks like this. We've got this pretty lace piece coming across. And then the back looks exactly the same as the original book. And our extended spine. So we've got the original piece, the extra fabric that we added, and then our label and this lace piece on there. And I like the way that looks. If you would like to see the final and complete look of this journal cover and its contents, I will put a link to the flip through of this journal down below in my description, so you can take a look at that and see how we finished it off. Thank you so much for coming along with me today. I really appreciate it. And until next time, bye-bye.